All right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Here we go, set, 10 over. We own it. We own it.
On first down, Johnson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Johnson now, operating from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Johnson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Mark 22, Mark 22. I got him. Ready. 22. And go.
Looking to throw. Martinez. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Martinez. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Dixon. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Johnson. From the gun, he'll throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fielded at the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Martinez. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Martinez operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Oh, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, Martinez. Caught here by Griffin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down. He completes this one to Mack. And some room to roam now. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6. As the Bears push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a...
Stephon Diggs, 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Chicago.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
On the set.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Martinez. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Bears push further out in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Johnson going to throw again. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Down. 15, line. 15 line.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Johnson looking to throw on second down. Dixon complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Johnson. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
10 Lobo. Recon, 132 fighter. Ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Draw play, Madison. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Switch gears.
Now a give, right side. It's Vaughn. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice gift, boy.
On 3rd down, it's Vaughn. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
He's coming. Double up.
Operating from the gun, Johnson. This is Johnson. He's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now left side on the swing pass. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 14. And Diggs has it. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Johnson now to throw on 3rd down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
First down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Wide, get wide.
Ready?
Back to throw. Johnson. And he's going to go down again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a...
He's got a man, complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football, Football 101 tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Devon Godchaux up to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Martinez from the gun on third down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Martinez now throwing on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Martinez operating from the gun. Throwing right, and that's complete. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Johnson off the play fake. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Johnson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
on as the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the side.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Martinez, flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Martinez. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Johnson on 1st down. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's taken in by Callaway. Touchdown, Chicago! Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
On the ready.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. Johnson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson. Here's Jamie Gillendown. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Set, hut. 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Here we go. Watch the bravo. Watch the pass.
To throw is Martinez on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Intended for Antonio Callaway. Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Martinez back to the air on 2nd down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Martinez, off play action. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 19-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Now.
Johnson now throwing on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo.
Come up the ball hard.
Ready?
Now Dixon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. Showing it. Showing it. Share.
Ready?
Here's Johnson. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield. Here's Jamie Gillendown, standing just outside his own goal line. It's taken to the 26. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Bears on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Martinez now, off the play fake, throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
First down, Bears.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Martinez. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Alert 3, alert 3.
Now a give, right side. It's Vaughn. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready. 59. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Dog. He's coming. We got set, go.
Right back to him on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
You can't block me.
80 West side.
Throwing on first down. Johnson. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Ready. 10-2 start.
They'll run on first down. Dixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Now Johnson. Throwing on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down. It's Hall. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Mike, check. Ready, go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Martinez. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Fresno. Ready, go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, they moved back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.